Hi, I'm Colleen with Mural Maker and More. Today I'm going to show you how to make a florist bow. You'll need your ribbon, of course. This is about 2 yards. It's best to have about 3, but we can make one with 2. You also need some wire cutters, some scissors. You can either use paddle wire that comes on a roll like this, or stems of wire. And it's also good if you're just using wire to have some floral tape. If you don't want to use wire, you can use pipe cleaners or chenille stems. If you're using floral wire on a stem, the first thing you're going to have to do is wrap it with floral tape. And floral tape is just simply wax tissue paper, and it will adhere to each other if you stretch it as you go. So it takes a little bit of practice, but you just wrap it around and twist it. Twist it all the way down as you go. And what this does is it gives a little better grip on the ribbon once you've made your bow, and it makes it easier to hold those twisted loops into place. If you have a pipe cleaner, that's going to be easier to get started. The gauge wire is the thickness, so I'd recommend 20 gauge or about 22 because it's easy to bend and wrap around your ribbon. 18 is a little too thick and 24 is a little too loose. The higher the gauge, the thinner the wire. This ribbon happens to be wired, but it doesn't matter. You can use ribbon that's not wired as well for this. The top side that's going to be showing is like a velveteen, and the back side is just a plain taffeta. So if you can see the difference, that's going to help you rather than if it was the same on both sides. For this bow, we're going to take a tail, okay, so it has just a slanted edge to start, and we're going to give that however long you want to make your tail. We're going to make ours not too long because we only have a couple yards of ribbon. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to determine how big you want your loop to be. And then you're going to squeeze it together and hold it with just your forefinger and your thumb. Just those 2 fingers. Okay, there's one loop. Now, on the back side, you see how it's the taffeta? We're going to turn that around to the right side of the fabric. And then we're going to make a loop the same size as that top loop. So you've got to get your twist all the way around and hold it with your first and your second finger and your thumb. Then make that loop as close as you can to that size. And then you're going to squeeze that together. So you've got 2 loops and your ribbon is on the wrong side. You're going to continue twisting. And here's the challenge. Here's what takes practice, is holding those twists all in the same line between your first and second finger and your thumb. My thumb never moves. The only thing is I lift my first finger and then I lift my second finger. I twist and then lift my second finger, grab it, and come back up. And then grab it again. And then I twist and make another loop. And I make all my loops the same size. You can do whatever you want. You can make the first loops a little shorter and then get bigger as you go out if you have a lot of ribbon. It's the best idea. But this is just going to give us a few loops so that you can see how really simple it is. It just takes a little bit of practice of turning from one side to the other. Now, I've got 2 tails. I've got 3 loops on one side and 4 on the other, and that's fine. Now I'm going to take my wire that's been wrapped with floral tape right where my thumb and my fingers are. I'm going to wrap it around. Just grab it and twist it as tightly as you can. You don't want, if you lose any of those gathers where you've twisted the ribbon, you won't have the control and the body in the bow that you want to move those loops around. Now, it's all gathered and it's tight, so I can pull the tails down if I want, and then you can start shaping your bow. You just kind of form like a little circle. And this is with 2 yards of ribbon. If you have 3 yards, that's the best. You're going to get a lot more. So that's one way of making a bow. This is another kind of bow you can make. It takes a little bit more ribbon, but people like to have a little loop right in the center. So here's what you do. You start off by making that little loop. And you just wrap it around right in the center. Okay, we've got the wrong side facing down, so this is your first loop, so you still need to gather it. Then, holding with your thumb and your first finger, you're going to twist and then grab it with your second finger. Make a loop, gather together. Now you've got that wrong side. Twist again and make another loop. Grab it with, I've got my thumb, my first, and my second finger. The thumb never moves. The thumb always stays in the same position. You might get a cramp, so just kind of relax and practice a little bit. Wired ribbon lets you practice over and over again. I'm on the wrong side. I'm going to turn it, make another loop. You see how I made these a little smaller, a little shorter than these next ones? It gives your bow a little bit more dimension when it's finished. And then you just keep twisting from the wrong side to the right side. And when you get to the end, if you notice, there's no tails, right? So when you're done making as many loops as you want, and again, if you have 3.5, 4 yards of ribbon, you can make 6 loops on each side and have a huge bow. Okay, so I only have a little tail, which isn't very nice, or it's, you know, not that decorative. So I take a second piece of ribbon and just right side up, in this case the velveteen, I'm going to gather it right, I still haven't moved my thumb, right where it was, right where all the other twists are, and take my tape covered wire or your pipe cleaner if you have that. Now you can move your thumb. You're going to reach around and you're going to twist it. If you lose your loops, join the club. Took me a long time to learn how to do this, but with wired ribbon and textured ribbon, it's a lot easier. Now, so you've got it nice and secured, you can start pulling your loops into shape because they're held together tightly. If one of your loops starts unwinding, meaning you can see like the wrong side of the ribbon, if that happens, just undo it and try again. And all that is that your gathers, that when you squeeze it together, are not held all in the same place. And you can pull your tails down if you want. It's just a little different ribbon. That little tail back there, you can either snip it off or leave it. And there you go.